Good evening, everyone. Hi, and welcome to Keep on the Shadowfell, our 5th edition D&D stream here on Wandering DM. I am, of course, Simon, the aforementioned Wandering DM, and I have just realized that all of my guests are muted for some reason. Yay!
How dare
They're
you?
good.
Censorship.
So, hi everyone. Welcome to our second session in Cormier. We'll just go around the table, introduce ourselves, who we are playing in sentence. And then I'll leave the mic to our dungeon master, Stephen. So I'm playing tonight. I'm playing Vashard, the human ranger, whose entire family we decided to kill for the second time last week, as we delved into my family's crypts to uncover a dragonstone. And I'll pass the mic on to our rogue.
Okay, rogue is a harsh word. I prefer acquirer of useless objects. Hi, everybody. My name's Manny. I'll be playing Sprig, a very anxious gnomish rogue who likes to collect trinkets and has a small little mouse companion named Reginald.
And moving on to our resident druid.
Yeah, I'm gonna be playing Dr. Henry Purr. I just had some feelings about raiding Bashard's family tomb, but everything worked out. We all lived, basically.
Yeah, we did. And coming for the first time tonight, the last member of our crew that we'll get to meet tonight in game. But Matthew, please, would you like to introduce yourself and your character?
Yes, I'm Matthew, and I will be playing Venin Torchtower today, a stalwart knight who dreams of being a sage.
All right. And then, well, I'll leave everything up to our illustrious dungeon master. Stephen, why don't you take us away?
Hey everybody, I'm Steven. I'm DMing this session and playing all the NPCs. And hopefully I can get some sound effects in tonight. So do we need a recap from last session? I'll give out inspiration to whoever wants to recap.
Oh. Well, go right ahead.
Oh, I was gonna ask if I get super inspiration because I already have it.
You already have it. You didn't spend it?
No.
It technically,
everybody
according
has
to the
it.
rules, it disappears at the end of the session if we go by the book.
Huh.
Yeah, but
Interesting.
rules are meant to be broken.
Just like our hearts. I can recap. We met, the three of us, in a busy tavern in the middle of oh god, it's in my notes. Holy crap. It's not Sahalish because that's a real world place and an Indian tribe. Suzeo. We met in the city tavern in the middle of the city of Suzeo, and we're basically forced together because there were only 3 seats left available in the inn due to the night's curfew that is in effect. We were approached of his own volition and not, entreated by anyone attempting to steal things out of his pocket. An old man by the name of Martin, who was apparently at some point an adventurer, but has since retired. He told us about a object he wished to acquire that was a part of a black dragon's heart, and that it contained inside of it incredible power, and he wanted to get it and research it, and that it was the last known location of of one of these pieces of a dragon heart nearby was in the tomb of Salember Coramil, a former noble of the House of Coromil, which just so happens to be Vashard's, Simon's family that has since been excommunicated and brought back in to the
Yeah,
thing.
they were persecuted and then taken down. Their titles were taken away.
Yeah, but did not have ownership over the estate in which the tomb was. So we snuck through town, breaking the curfew, and into the estate, only to discover gardeners, or men who claim to be gardeners, but were in fact some kind of Shar cult. We quickly dispatched them, found a way into the tomb, and through a series of misadventures, and a quick discussion and trade with some giant rats, found our way into the tomb of Salember Coromil and acquired the Dragon Heart.
Super cool. Yeah. And we could do that. I think we fade back in. Go ahead and take it. Inspiration, Manny. That was super cool. I appreciate that.
I took notes.
So yeah, I think we fade back in on the three of you coming back up from the from the tomb and from the mausoleum set upon the hill. I think. What time was it when you all left? Did you choose to wait to leave the inn once everybody like kind of went to sleep? There it would be like early morning, or
No, we had just finished eating, and Martin was kind of like, "Okay, you can go now." So
okay, all right.
Yeah, we left
Cool.
like right in the middle of the dinner service.
Okay. So yeah, it's probably midnight then. We see a large moon hanging over mountains far to the east, and we see the three of you coming back out of this mausoleum. And as the camera kind of pans back, we notice and see the dead cultists laying on the ground, and we notice that the one that you had tied up has mysteriously made free of his bonds and escaped.
Oh, I hope he didn't take anything from the other people's pockets. And I'm going to go check just double check the other corpse pockets to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Okay. Make an investigation roll.
It's gonna be another bag of snakes.
Oh, wow, 12. Even though I have a -1.
You do check their pockets, and there are no snakes. And it seems like you've gotten everything.
Oh, question, just something to clarify real fast. Did Bashard take the shield or the sword from Salimber's tomb? Because they were fancy and some magic.
I took the sword from what I remember.
You found like a moonlight sword,
Yeah.
but when we opened Salimber's actual crypt, he had a sword and shield that were pristine.
Oh, yeah, I did. Those
Okay, so you
ones.
took.
Yep.
Okay, sorry.
Why, did you want one?
No, I just that was a thing that we should know. Also, Sprig would be very curious because they looked like they were worth a lot of money.
Yeah, I have them on my sheet. Pappy's shield and Pappy's sword.
100% accurate.
Isn't necessarily accurate, but
Is it like great grand pappy?
something like that?
Probably.
By the way, thank you, Praxagora Thesmophoria, for the platinum loot box that you got us. Yay!
I'm sorry, what name was that, Simon? Could you say it 3 times fast?
Praxagora Thesmophoria, Praxagora Thesmophoria, Praxagora Thesmophoria.
Wow, that was impressive.
And now I've summoned the demon.
Wow. All right. So the question is, how many times did you have to like get corrected on pronouncing that name in order to be able to say it properly?
Not even once.
Oh my god.
I've still yet to attempt it.
And yet
Sprax.
I'll butcher words like lilac. So
It happens.
Okay. But yes. So there's nothing in their pockets.
Yeah, I think last time you had gotten everything from them.
I don't know. Do you guys think that maybe their masks will go for a gold piece or two?
I don't think that bandit masks will go for much.
Well, I mean, but these don't really look like bandit masks. And I'll pull another one off and I'll hold it up to Henry. It's like it looks, I don't know.
Yeah, can I do
Special?
like a history check or something on that? Or
Yeah, definitely. History sounds great.
Oh,
I invented that mask.
Yeah, you notice something that sounds strange or seems strange to you, especially based on what they were saying to each other. You can tell this mask is set up almost like a coiled dragon around the eyes that comes wings on one side and a dragon's maw on the other, and you notice that this mask wouldn't necessarily have much to do with Shar, but probably and most likely would have to do with the cult of the dragon.
Makes sense.
And with knowing it's a cult of the dragon, is that like taboo in like common practice, or like is it like allowed like to be a cult, or is it illegal?
I would think after recent events, it would most likely be illegal. Rumor on the street says that they recently had something to do with the resurrection and creation of a Dracolich to the north around the Moonsea. And something to have to do with Tiamat, but it's hearsay in this part of the world.
Sprig, I don't think we should keep that mask with us. The symbolism of it is abhorrent in these parts, I imagine.
so not worth money.
Yeah, let's go with that. Not worth money.
I don't know. What about their shoes? Do you think their shoes are worth anything?
What about the gemstones we found? I think those will be more worthy than... They'll be worth more than shoes or masks.
You know what, Sprig? You should take one shoe and try to sell it.
Yeah, okay. And Sprig is going to take one pair of like boots, one for themselves and one to try and sell.
Okay. Sounds great.
Pair of cultist boots.
You work on the rough shoelaces for a while and end up dragging them off the cold, dead feet. You notice the shoes are wet, as is most of the dirt and grass still around here. It's not raining anymore like it was earlier, but this like heavy mist lays in the air, and as you walk through it, you can feel it brushing up against your cheeks and clothes. Do you go straight back for the Myrmidon Inn, or?
I think we have to like sneak back again because it's still dark.
Yeah.
It is.
Well,
Well, I mean, so we have two options, right? Yes, we can sneak back to the inn tonight, or we could go into Simon's spooky house, Vishard's spooky house, and see if there's anything worth stealing. I mean, reclaiming.
well, not only that, Sprig, but let's just think about this for a moment. Like, what could you possibly do with the dragon heart? I know that the old man in the tavern said he was going to do good with it, but what if he meant to do bad with it?
Well, I did get a feeling that he wasn't necessarily concerned with the good he could do with it, so much as the good it could do for his reputation.
That is true, Mr. Sprigg. Mayhaps should we... I hate to think about waiting a day with this on us, but, maybe we should try and, maybe a little bit more information on the old man or even this dragon heart. Or if we don't want to worry about it, suppose that's fine. I could use the money.
I could really use the money too.
We could all use the money, but the thing is if it comes back to bite us in the arse later.
That is a true point. I do operate in the surrounding area. Having that kind of bad tarnish on my name wouldn't be good.
What if he uses it to make a dragon?
Well, if he uses it to make a good dragon, that might be okay. But I'm not entirely sure how you make a dragon.
I think you make a dragon by having another dragon lay an egg.
Yeah, I suppose that's in, the normal way how to do it. But do you think you could create one or even recreate one using magic with its heart?
Magic can do all kinds of weird stuff. I once saw a guy's face turn purple.
Was he choking on something?
He was grabbing at his throat a lot.
I think that wasn't a magic spell.
Really? Oh. That explains a lot.
Steven, did he say it was a black dragon heart when we went to go get it?
Yes.
It is the heart. It's the heart of the dragon that attacked the city, right?
Right. A famous dragon, Thalgalor, the Black Doom, a dragon so old its scales had begun to turn purple.
That's right.
For which the Purple Dragon Knights had been named for.
So, question, Stephen.
Mm-hmm.
I know Dash and Henry tend to get a lot of travel in, but Sprig lives in the city. Does Sprig have any idea where Martin lives?
Make an investigation make an investigation roll. No, make an intelligence. Just
okay. Do I have advantage for my city secrets feature?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay. -1, here we go. 17.
Ooh, good thing you had advantage.
But the DC was 20s. Yeah.
Where does Martin live? Yeah, Martin probably resides in a farmstead outside of town. He often comes in, especially to the Myrmidon Inn, looking for adventurers to go on his mini, what people would say around here, crazy quests, always looking for something.
Okay, but I have an idea of where his house is and how to find it.
Yeah, probably northeast of town.
So outside the walls.
Yes.
Just out of curiosity, Vashard, do we actually know why that the heart was in your tomb?
That's a good question. I don't.
Martin would know.
Martin would know, but Martin didn't tell us.
Well, Martin, I'm pretty sure he lives northeast of the town outside the wall. I'm not sure we can get there with the gates closed and curfew. We might just have to take the money and head back. Or head back and then take the money. You can always try and follow him, though, in the morning. And then steal everything in his house.
Or
I didn't... Oh, I said that out loud. Question. That's the one.
Well, yeah, we'll put a pin in that, Mr. Sprigg, on stealing everything in his house and maybe just investigating to see if he's a good person or not.
That's fair.
Well, the estate's right here if we want to sleep over.
I guess that's the real question, is do we stay in the estate or just try and sneak back? Pretty sure we can get back unscathed.
Yeah, I did pay for a room.
I do believe you paid for all our rooms.
No, I only paid for your meal.
No, the gold piece covered the room.
Did it, Steven?
It did.
Well then.
So you paid for 3 rooms that would be going to waste.
Yeah, so it might be best for us to head back.
Yeah, when I'm on the road, I sleep in a lot of buildings that resemble your mansion here, Vishard. No offense, but I would like a soft bed.
I have to admit, I'd rather sleep under the stars than sleep in this estate. So, yeah, why not?
I usually sleep in a barrel, so whatever.
Sprig, that sounds mighty unfortunate.
Sometimes it rolls.
We really need to get you some of that money, Sprig.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll take the lead and I'll start sneaking them back.
Yeah. Skill tests are fun once, but there's no reason to do it over again. So you make your way back, sneaking from alleyway to alleyway, around dark city corner. Conveniently, just as guards turn and walk one way, we see a montage of the 3 of you and Reginald. Sneaking back to the Myrmidon Inn. We can see by the time you get out, there's only like a few like small candles gleaming through the windows, and the strange mist that's taken over the city. Though it's almost as if large halos surround these candles, as if they were beckoning or welcoming you back to the inn. When you go back in, there's a few late nighters up drinking, singing along with that same bard who seems to be telling some story of dragons and warriors.
Oh, this seems like a relevant song. We should listen in.
You know, Sprig, one might think that, but sometimes bards just tell stories with no relevance to them.
Well, it's a story pretty ingrained in your mind right now. It's convenient. Cormier is also known as the land of the purple dragon, and it's a story about Thalglor, the purple dragon, and how he descended upon the city and destroyed most of the keep before being pushed back into the King's Wood, where Prince Azun II and Salamber Cormoril finally met him in battle and slew him.
Yeah, this is definitely a relevant song. The bard has a good beat. That means it's relevant. You carry a tune.
They also just answered our question.
Oh, so it was educational and relevant.
And who says entertainment can't be educational? Oh, bards are already switching to another song.
It's got more symbols in this one. The same serving boy is standing. You can tell he's tired. He's resting up against the bar, and he picks his head up as you walk in, and he slowly trudges over to you. It looks as if he's walking through mud, and he says, "Welcome back. Your rooms are ready, but I mean, no rush. I could get you a drink or something if you needed it."
Screw you, Steven.
I can't speak for the rest of my companions here, but I would like to be shown to my room.
Do you know where Martin went?
Oh, yes, Martin. He actually he rented a room here. He's been staying about a week. He's upstairs in his room.
Oh, okay. What room is that?
Well, for our patrons' privacy, I don't know. I don't know if
He's my dad.
– Really? I mean,
I mean, yeah. Look at me.
Why were you out so late? Don't you know there's a curfew?
Well,
I'll go get your dad.
well, it didn't say he was a good dad, but no, it's fine. I mean, I sleep in his room anyway. You know what I mean? So it's a foot of the bed kind of situation. Dad's kind of cheap, so he doesn't want to rent a room with 2 beds.
Can you make a persuasion test for me?
Would that be deception? Deception?
Yeah, deception. I'm sorry.
Okay.
Face palm head shake.
Okay, you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and use my inspiration for advantage on this because, deception.
Because you really want to get inside his room. Oh God!
No. 20.
Wow. Serving boy's real tired.
Oh yeah, he's just like, oh well, come on, little one. Let's go back to your daddy. It's surprising. And he like takes your hand like you're a little kid and like starts like
I'm
pulling
probably shorter than he is. So,
and he says, "I can't believe Martin's so irresponsible to just let you play out in the rain. You could catch a cold out there."
I know it's terrible, but don't wake him up. I'll just sneak into the room. It's fine.
Well, I mean, he should know that you're back safe.
He'll find out when he wakes up.
Well, I guess that's the truth. I think I'm gonna go get me some ale before bed. But, did Vashard and Dr. Henry follow him up the stairs?
I am dumbfounded that this lie actually worked. I'm just sitting at a table downstairs, still processing what just happened.
I let the gnome go on his own.
Okay. He doesn't. He just kind of leaves Sprig at the door and turns around, dragging his feet. He stops at the top of the staircase and turns around and waves at you and says, "Good night."
Night. Drink one for me.
And you see him disappear downstairs. What he didn't notice, and you do standing here, is that candles flicker inside the room. You can see it from the bottom of the door, and you can hear someone murmuring inside. Or yes, well, if he was there, then that would have been in 296, I believe. Wouldn't you say so?
Who has the heart?
I think Simon's character Vash was the one that picked it up, right?
We didn't specify at the end of the last game.
Who has the heart?
I feel like that's something that Vashard would want to keep on his person because of its relation to his history.
Sure. If you're letting me have it, I'll have it.
Okay.
Like Sprig is a little loot goblin, but he'll respect stuff to like. So if it belongs to you.
Awesome. So what does Sprig do?
Can I just like peek under the door to see who he's talking to?
Make a perception check to see how much you can see.
What is this tonight?
Do you have like a camera that you put on?
You know what I do? As my burglar's kit or whatever, I do have a steel mirror.
Oh,
so
okay.
Get that under the door.
Awesome. You can tell Martin's sitting at a desk. He's writing in that large book of his, and you can see feet of a man he's speaking with. The man is dressed in armor, but being as late as it is, not probably full armor. He wears a red tabard. And you can see, I believe, like a tower on the tower. A white tower on the tabard.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna just sneak down the stairs and like poke my head out and like try and get Bashard and Henry's attention.
What?
Vashard, this gnome is making some funny hand gestures at us.
What's going on?
Come upstairs.
I go upstairs.
Yeah, same.
Okay, so I think that there's definitely somebody in the room with Martin. So you might try and strong arm us out of our money. So we need to go in aggressive and be ready for anything.
All right. And I'll knock on the door. Martin?
Oh, yes. Who is it?
It's Vashard.
We have your son out here.
Please tell me you say that.
We have your son.
My... What? And you can hear him stand up so fast that his chair falls over. And he says, "What? Will you go answer the door? I've got to get my books." And I think this is when we meet Matt's character for the first time.
Yeah,
So, who opens the door?
So the door opens, and there's a man in the doorway, a big guy. He fills the whole doorway, built like a war horse. He looks kind of rough and rugged. He's clearly a soldier. He's probably seen his share of war, especially with the recent war against Sembia. And when he talks, he speaks with a very kind of precise, clipped accent, and he says, "Are these them? The gentlemen you were telling me about?"
Yes, they're helping in our research. Please let them in. I hope they have good news for us.
All right. He slides kind of to the side and motions for you to enter.
All right. As Vashard comes in, he's just gonna give a courteous nod of the head to Velen.
Yes, I'm sorry my room is a mess. You look around and his room is a mess. It looks like he's been sleeping more at his desk than in the bed. And just everything's disgruntled. There's still plates up here and silverware and 4 stacks of cups. It looks like he's drank all the coffee in the world. He excitedly goes back and flips open his book. It lands with a pound on the desk and he says, Tell me you found what we were looking for?"
Out of game, Steven, what was the name of that purple dragon again?
Thalglor.
Falglor.
No, I'm sorry. Thalglor.
Thalglor. Okay.
Yeah.
Thalglor.
More commonly known as the Black Doom.
Out of curiosity, Martin, you didn't tell us that we were to fetch the heart of Thalglor.
Well, quite important, wouldn't you say?
Quite. Worth a lot more than 30 gold pieces, if you want. If you know what I mean.
Well, it shouldn't have been too much trouble to go and procure that, and a deal is a deal.
Sprig pulls out a mask that they had previously pocketed in the last session from one of the cultists and puts it on and just starts moving around. It's like, "Oh no, we're here to stop you from getting the heart. Also, we need more than 30 gold because there were people trying to kill us."
You can kind of see the excitement drain out of his face, and he looks at Fennin, and then he looks back at you, and you can see the excitement turn to worry, and he says, "I didn't expect them to catch up with me so quickly." I'll tell you what. And he reaches into his bag and he hands it out to you, Sprig, and he says, 100 gold is all I've got on me right now. Feel free to split it.
The hand reaches out and snatches it. Like, it disappears into one of several pockets, along with the mask.
I apologize. I should have been more forthcoming, that there could have been danger. I just didn't expect the Cult of the Dragon to be here so quickly. They followed me from Daggerford.
See, worship a dragon. How come they were talking about Shar?
Well, it's complicated.
Most things are complicated, like multiple syllable words.
So, I guess we're done here.
Well, yes, I thank you so much. Do you have it?
Oh, and I'll produce it from my my backpack.
He
My
looks
Yeah,
apologies.
we just leave the room.
We just my apologies. A lot of things. I have a lot of things on my mind tonight.
He looks like a kid on Christmas, and he just his eyes widen up, and the excitement comes back, and he says, "Give it here, please."
How?
And he reaches out his hands.
Just how big is it?
It's like a big grapefruit.
Okay.
You, as you hold it in your hand, again, you can hear the thumping of a heartbeat in your ear.
Mm-hmm. And I'll put it down gently in his hands.
I got a bad feeling about this.
Do you say that?
Yeah.
He holds it in his hands, quivering with excitement, and he looks up and he says, "Why ever would you have a bad feeling?" He turns and wraps up the heart in a sack that he had, and he places it on the table next to the dishes. He says, "I thank you for your service. Perhaps one day we might meet ways again."
Well, I mean, if you ever need someone to retrieve anything else, if the pay's good, I don't see why we would say no.
Oh, well, thank you. That's very nice of you. I would do more, but I have much research to do. I'd invite you for coffee or food, but there's much to attend to still this night. The night is young.
And I'll look to my compatriots. What say you? Coffee or sleep?
I'll most definitely take the sleep.
I'm tired.
No.
I feel like the little I know about this heart might be for the better. Might second guess my actions.
All right. Well, I'll stay up and I'll keep Martin and I'll turn to Velen. I'll say, "I'm sorry, I didn't get your name. I'm Vashard," and I'll extend a hand.
Yeah, he offers kind of a thick, meaty paw and gives you a firm handshake. Says, "I apologize. I had an offer to. My name is Venin Torchtower."
Well, nice to meet you, Venin.
It's good to meet you. I'm sorry that you had trouble with the Cult of the Dragon. I warned Martin that they would be close behind.
Yeah, it seems they were closer than you both thought, but we dispatched them easily enough. Mind you, one of them did manage to get away.
Martin speaks up and he's like, "Oh, I wouldn't worry about that one. They usually get away. We don't hear from them again for a month or two."
Well, good then. I would hate for any woe to befall you because of that heart we got for you.
Well, with Venin here by my side, I'll surely be safe. I owe him my life already several times.
I do have a question, however, if you don't mind me asking. What exactly are you going to use the heart for?
Well, how studied are you in dragons?
I think Henry needs to go to sleep. I'm not well versed. I'm educated, but let's say that books weren't my forte.
Well, are you aware of the dragon's breath weapons and how they correspond with the type of dragon?
With a 21 in history, would I know anything about dragons?
Oh,
Or
yeah.
do I need to roll something else? Arcana?
You got a 21? Yeah, that's probably enough for what he's talking about. He's like, yes, then you know that black dragons emit an acid from inside of them. I hope to use this heart to make immunities to acid.
As in, like, potions of immunity to acid? Or are you talking about infusing someone with the essence of a dragon and rendering them immune to acid?
Well, my research hasn't gotten that involved. Perhaps we could try potions. I have a few wizards I could talk to. Yes. And he turns around and like starts writing names down in his book. And he's like, check on alchemy.
Well, that were all the questions I had at the moment. The most pressing ones, anyway.
Well, if you hear from, or well, never mind. They shouldn't. I hope you have a good evening.
No. What? Pritel, what were you about to say?
Well, I was just going to say if you do see someone sneaking around at night, let us know. It may be time to move on.
All right. Will do.
Thank you. I will call for you if ever I need of your services again. And he turns and begins writing in his book again, murmuring to himself. What does Venin do?
I suppose once everyone else is retired, Venin will take a book from, take one of the journals and kind of read through it while he works, while Martin works, and kind of just keep an eye out, kind of steal glances at what he's writing. Kind of keeping an eye out to make sure he's not doing anything nefarious, but also kind of his curiosity is piqued.
Certainly. Yeah, I mean, if you wanted to, make a quick perception check to look over his shoulder and see what he's writing about, that'd be fine. 18. Yeah, he's writing just notes. Basically, stream of consciousness about the way of perhaps chipping away at the stone heart and infusing it into potions, and how he thinks this will be the newest thing to sell on the streets of Waterdeep. Soon, acids will never again harm a man or woman. And he says ... or child. So does anyone else want to do anything for the evening, or do we want to continue on to the next day?
Yeah, pretty good.
Yep.
I'll go to bed.
Sprig just goes into bed and like jumps on the bed a couple of times and then curls down in the middle of it. Like doesn't pull the sheets over, just curls up in the middle of it, and then like a dog would, and then goes to bed.
Right. The beds are quite comfortable, and the inn is warm throughout the evening, and the night passes uneventfully. In the morning, there's a knock at Sprig's door.
Sprig bounces up like immediately. He calls out, "Who is it?"
It's Henry. I want my money.
Oh, okay. And Sprig bounces over to the door and opens it up. Hello. Oh, okay. Coming in. And Sprig goes over to the backpack and like roots through it. You see like them quickly pull out the petrified bread from the tomb, stuff it back in, pull out a couple of other knickknacks, and then pulls out the money pouch that they were handed. And goes, "Okay, I was up late last night because 100 is a big number. It doesn't go into 3 very easily.
You can take the extra one."
Oh, thank God. Okay, and I just I pour out the gold, and then I quickly like just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like counting in like sequences of 10, like pull out 33 gold, and then like scooch it in a pile towards Henry.
All right, I'll scoop it up in my money pouch. Thank you, Mr. Sprig.
Just Sprig. No, Mister.
Sorry, Sprig. I'll have to work on that.
It's okay. Do you think Vashard's awake?
I'm sure he'll ask for his money when he needs it. You should probably hold on to it for now.
Okay. I would hate for everyone to forget.
And I'm sorry, go ahead.
And I just scoop all the money back into the bag.
In the doorway, Sprig and Dr. Henry, you see there's a runner. She's out of breath, and she says, "Is this Sprig's room?"
That'd be him.
"Oh, I've got a message for you," and she hands it to you. It's a little rolled up piece of paper about this big.
Okay, I unroll it and I look at it.
It's pin lines going up and down and sideways. There's some points and some scratches. It looks very interesting.
Fascinating.
There's a picture of a heart at the bottom. You do recognize that.
Mm-hmm.
She says, "Thank you." And
Oh.
she turns and kind of makes her way out.
Okay. Crap. Doctor, I can't read.
All right, let me see it. And I'll grasp the letter from him and unroll it.
It says, "My dear friend Sprig, it's been many years since we spoke, but I wanted to tell you of what lays heavy on my heart. I thought perhaps today we could meet at the statue. I've got so much to say, and I'd love to be able to catch up. Your friend forever, with a heart, Tomorn Brightspark."
Tor what?
Tomorn, Tomorn.
Okay, bright spark. Sprig, it appears that a Tormon Brightspark wants to meet with you. Says they're your friend.
All of the blood just pales from their face.
Looks like there's a heart. I don't know if that symbolizes that you two were in a romantic relationship or not, but I don't think that's none of my business. I hand it back to him.
Sprig takes it, sets it on the desk,
Said he wanted to meet you at a statue of some sort.
pulls out a dagger, and just stabs the little heart multiple times.
Oh no.
And pulls the dagger out. Okay.
Mr. Just Sprig, is there something wrong with the letter?
You know, I think I need breakfast. And Sprig's just gonna leave the room with their backpack and the money, and just go down to the bar for breakfast.
Has Venin woken up for the morning?
Yeah, he's an early riser. He's still on kind of his military schedule. He hasn't been out of the Purple Dragons for too long, so he hasn't really gotten used to civilian life yet.
Would it be safe to assume that he was down partaking a breakfast when Sprig arrives?
Yeah, something simple like just Cormyrian fried bread and maybe a hard-boiled egg.
Awesome.
So you totally see Sprig walk up to the bar and like slam a gold down and go, "Fire, whiskey, please, now."
It's the same it's the same serving boy who comes up to the bar. He has thick purple bags under his eyes, and he says, "Coming right up. I was up early this morning. Are you sure you want this so early?"
Yes, please.
He goes and grabs a shot glass and pours a bit for you, and then calls down to Venin. Can I get anything else for you, sir?
Just a glass of orange juice, if you would.
Oh, orange juice. What else are they going to ask for? He kind of murmurs to himself as he like walks off into the back.
Venin turns to Sprig, kind of a half glance, and says, "Lady troubles."
Yeah, I don't know, something like that. You ever have somebody that you trust implicitly, and then they just stab you in the back?
He pulls down the collar of his shirt, and you see a big knife wound. And he says, "Yes, I do know exactly what that's like."
Well, I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it like as like a thing that they physically did. Just like metaphorically.
An emotional stab. Those sometimes hurt even worse, my little friend.
Yes. Oh, now I've got a letter. I'm supposed to meet that person, in a statue today, because they're sorry. And then if the fire whiskey is there, like, Sprig will just slam it down and ask for another.
The serving boy, who you all have learned his name is Toby by now.
Toby is a good boy.
And he has this cup of cold orange juice that he got from the cellar, and he's kind of out of breath. You can tell he moved quick, and he says, "Oh, another one. Oh, coming up for you." And he pours you another one.
Also, I'm 25. You should not believe every gnome that says they're a child. And then just slam the second one.
Well, it was late.
Mm.
Sorry.
Whew. What would you do, Mr. Venom, if the person that stabbed you in the back suddenly sent you a letter asking to make up? Get things off their chest, as it were.
Well, the person who stabbed me in the back is dead, so any such letter would be highly suspect. But I suppose you are speaking metaphorically, in which case I would meet them and see if perhaps they would like to remove the knife, as it were. Takes a slow sip of his orange juice.
Yeah, I guess that's probably the smart thing to do. I could also rob them blind. That'd make me feel better.
There is always that. Sip.
So what is Dr. Henry and Vashard doing?
I wouldn't have walked downstairs with that much haste, but I would have, probably just like slowly and like made my way downstairs, like grab my quarterstaff and bag, probably on my way down.
Yeah, I think I would get up slowly that morning since, I'm in town today. There's no sign of immediate danger, so I'm going to take it slow. Probably wake up the last of the group and head downstairs for food.
Yeah, I think by the time Vashard has gotten down there, most of the patrons have awoke, and there's a little hustle going on downstairs as as Toby is the only one bringing food in and out, complaining. He's like, Mr. Myrmidon, he doesn't have to wake up early, but no, I've got to wake up early and stay up late too, both shifts. What's going on?
Poor Toby.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna.
Okay. All right. Bash and Henry, I have a meeting that I need to attend at noon. That's when the note said, right? Noon.
Yeah.
You're welcome to come if you want, but I can't promise to be very fun. Guess this is kind of where we split ways? It was fun adventuring with you, but...
Now, Sprig, since I had to read the letter for you, how exactly did this relationship end?
Oh, badly? Sprig kind of like pulls a chair closer to the table and leans
Toby,
forward.
would you mind bringing another one for him?
You hear like an audible sigh as Toby like makes himself come back to the bar and pour another one.
Growing up, I didn't really have like a traditional family. It was just the other kids, just on the streets, typical stuff that you hear about in the bard stories with the adventurers that like grow up on the streets and they have no parents and all that stuff. That was me, except it wasn't, fun.
Here in this city.
Yeah, in this one. I mean, there's places where they take kids without parents, but I didn't want to go to any of those because, the other kids talked bad about them. So, we all had a person that we looked up to. That kind of showed us the ropes. How to pick a pocket, how to break open a lock without, breaking it. How to cheat at a card game. And I was Toman.
Toman. All right.
So Toman Brightspark. They taught me everything I know. And we started getting older, and soon the adorable kid act. I mean, that goes on a lot longer for a gnome than it does for, say, a human child. But soon you start needing real money. Toman had an inn with a thieves guild or a group of bandits or somebody. He needed to prove himself, and it's just, they promised to take me with them if I helped on the task. I was always better than the other kids. Little kind of waggles the bandaged fingers. Dexterous gnome hands, I guess. We got into a noble's estate. We got to the safe. And on the way out, we didn't notice the trap. Toman managed to avoid the cage that fell from the ceiling, but I didn't. And they left me. And now I owe a noble 1,000 gold for damages, or that I have to pay off, where I wind up in the prison cells.
And this is the first time you've talked to Toman since?
That was a couple of years ago. Yeah.
Do you even want to go to this meeting?
I don't know. I'm torn, because they were my best friend, and I want to know why, but also maybe they have money, and I've been chipping away at this debt for a couple of years now, but, I don't... Last night was the most money I've ever made in like 3 hours. So maybe they can help then, but in that way, but also...
Well, I mean, I figure there's one or two ways to go about this. They might help, or they might stab you in the back again.
That's the real question, How do you trust somebody that hurt you that bad?
Well, how do you feel? Do you want revenge? Do you want closure? What are you aiming at here, Sprig?
I just don't want to go to jail. That's what I want. I think I should go and speak to them. And if nothing else, I can call them a scum sucker to their face.
Now, Sprig, you seem to have a certain amount of innocence towards you. Would you mind if I came along?
It's the gnome face. It does that to people. But yeah, I wouldn't mind. I mean, for all I know, Toman is planning to, kidnap me and force me into labor or something. I don't know.
Well, if he's with the Thieves Guild, as you say,
Well, I don't know that it was the Thieves Guild. He wouldn't tell me who. I assumed, because he said that they were our ticket out. Out of Suzail, out of poverty.
But it could have been any nefarious organization.
It could have even just been a group of adventurers, for all I know.
I was gonna say, but adventurers don't go around looting manors in Suzail, but we proved last night that that's not the case.
Adventurers do anything for money.
Speaking of money,
Yes.
you said, Sprig, you owed this noble person 1,000 gold?
For damages. I've been chipping away at it for a couple of years, but I don't actually know how much I still owe. I think there was some talk of like interest or something, but I don't, I'm just, as long as I pay them about 10 gold a month, they don't report me.
It almost sounds like extortion, but you sort of were in their home. Well, keep my share and give it to pay back your debt or what have you.
But you
Use it for that.
You need the money.
And I show 2 longswords. I'm like, while you go meet your friend, I'll just make a quick detour by the markets. See if Grandpappy's sword is worth anything. I'm thinking about keeping the shield.
Okay.
But a sword that, well kept after years and years of what should have been water damage. I mean, it's got to be worth something.
Vashard, I do have the ability to detect magical properties of some items. You want me to inspect the sword and shield that you picked up last night, or?
Oh, yeah, the thought didn't even cross my mind. Please, Doctor. And I'll put the sword, not the Moon Touch sword, because we all know it has a bit of magic in it. So Vashar doesn't think it would have any other properties. And then the shield.
All right. It'll take me about 10 minutes to complete the ritual.
You're muted, Steven.
Oh man. Yeah, we hear Toby. He sighs audibly again. He says, "Please, we've got patrons. Don't put your weapons on the bar. Mr. Myrmidon's going to kill me."
I'll take them and put them down on my lap. Toby, you seem overworked today.
Just a bit, but I get off this evening. Not too bad. He kind of hangs his head low and shuffles off again to refill some orange juice.
Wait, Toby. You've ever wanted to do something else aside from serving patrons at a bar?
Well, I've been reading on Tyr, the god. I think I could be an adventurer.
Simon, we cannot adopt this child. If we adopt this child, they will die.
So here's my background. My background is noble, and I get to have a retainer. And we haven't talked about it yet, Steven.
Cool. I like where this is going.
So, hey, Toby. Do you want to serve someone who's not going to overwork you and underpay you?
Oh, well, and like you can see like a glisten in his eye, a little glimmer of hope, and he says, well, what are you talking about, Mr. Vashard?
I'll turn to Venin, and I'll just ask him, Sir Venin, looking at Toby here, do you think he would make a fine adventurer? At the very least, a squire.
I wrap my hand around the back of his neck just to see how wide his neck is, and I say, "You could do for a squire. I don't know if he'll ever really be adventuring material, but I suppose if the boy wants it."
Well, do you want it, Toby?
Yes, I'd love to be a squire. Squire Toby. And he kind of looks off into whatever dream world he's living in right now.
Even after that, it might be Sir Toby.
I'm going to have to teach him how to detect so many different cons.
Well, I can finish up here and then meet you this evening.
Then I think we have a deal.
Yes. And he turns and he's got a little pep in his step. And he's going and refilling all the orange juices.
On Mr. Myrmidon's tab.
You can't tell me what to do, Mr. Myrmidon.
Quit.
I found a new job.
Squire Toby now.
wipe your own mugs.
Here's the rag I use. Wipe your mug.
Just mug drops and walks out.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah, with that, like, Sprig is after the ritual is done, and we detect magic or not, Sprig will head out. But you are detecting magic.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to if Toby will allow it.
Oh yeah, definitely. He's all in for this. He's like elbows up on the bar, just like dreaming of adventure.
It's his last day. He doesn't care.
Right.
Yeah.
So yeah, they are not magical.
Okay. Well, Richard, great grandpappy's sword and shield aren't magical.
Sprig pulls out the gem that they found. Is this magical?
I mean, it's up for 10 minutes. I guess put everything up there.
Petrified bread, skeleton tea, like just pours out all of the junk from last night. Just see if any of it's magical.
And Toby's just like, "Wow, where'd you find that?"
Inside
What-
a crypt.
What about the bowl that we found with the ring?
Yeah, that's out there too with the fancy bowl, waterlogged books. It's just a mess on the counter. It's like somebody put a garbage bag on the counter, like ripped it open and just pulled it across.
The bowl does it does like reveal itself to be magical.
Mm-hmm. Well, I can't really.
Bennett scoots his meal like a little bit further away from the garbage pile.
Well, Sprig, I can't tell you what it does, but this bowl is indeed enchanted by some sort of magic.
You should be able with the spell to tell the school of magic that is enchanted.
Abjuration.
Definitely necromancy. You shouldn't touch it.
Oh, necromancy. Cool.
No,
And then-
it's abjuration magic, actually.
so I don't know what that is. I just start scooping the garbage back into the bag with the bowl.
The
It's
human
just like-
teeth do.
The human teeth are magical?
No. That would be something.
That would be something. But yeah, no, he just starts like scooping the rest of the stuff back into the bag with the bowl. Or they start scooping it back into the bag with the bowl. What's abjuration?
Do I have to roll to see what kind of like class of magic abjuration is, or can I just tell him if?
Yeah, you can just tell him.
Abjuration magic tends to be more of magic that blocks, or banishes, protects generally. It's hard to say what it's actually for, though.
I guess we'll just have to keep pouring liquids into it until we find out what.
Yeah, go ahead and keep doing that.
Maybe not do it in an establishment.
I don't think it'll innately explode or something super harmful, but I suppose I can't guarantee that.
Maybe
Just
we
wanna-
can find. Huh? Sorry? What?
I was just gonna say, I just want to make sure you don't get into trouble.
Maybe we can find, like, a wizard or something that can identify it. I don't actually know what that means. It's just something I've heard adventurers say when I stole coins out of their pockets.
Well, perhaps I can find a wizard on my way to the markets.
You know, there might even be a wizard upstairs.
Martin?
I think when you say that, you hear from upstairs like, "Eureka! I found it!"
Uh,
And I think Martin comes bumbling down the stairs, almost tripping over his feet.
he does kind of walk like a wizard.
You know, he might even be interested in those waterlogged books are yours, Sprig.
You're right. I was worried who I was going to be able to pawn those off to.
Benin has like a mouthful of eggs, and he's like, "I'm a wizard."
Yeah, Sprig, I just don't know anybody else who's a wizard around here.
Wait, you're just out of curiosity, out of character, Venin, just remind me, do you look like a knight though, don't you?
Yes, I'm playing like the archetype of the jock that is actually really bookish and smart.
Okay.
But his dad wanted him to be a jock, and so he's kind of got pushed in that direction. But he really wants to be a wizard, and so he does have a level of wizard. I can cast Identify. I don't have the material components because it costs 100 gold pieces. I need a pearl, which I cannot afford.
If only we all had 100 gold.
Collectively.
We can afford it. But wait, Sir Venin, did you say you were a wizard?
Yeah, I'm a wizard. He like daintily cleans the corners of his mouth with his napkin.
But you're not wearing any robes. Or you don't have a hat either.
Not all wizards have hats. That is a horrible stereotype.
I don't know what that is.
This is the biggest plot twist than Martin actually having the money to pay us.
Martin like stops when he hears you say that, and he's like, "Yes."
Sorry, Martin. We were pretty sure you were going to stiff us.
We did have some concerns.
Well, I'm glad you're over your concerns now. And he brings up like this piece of parchment that he's received, and he's like, "But I found it. It's right here."
Yes, that is a piece of parchment.
He gives it to Sprig, and he's like, "No, look, see."
Sprig takes it and looks.
It's incredible. There's all sorts of scratches and lines and loops and dots, and there's a place where maybe the ink was blotted by a cat, a person's hand. You can't really tell, but it's very interesting design.
But what about this part here, Martin? What about this?
Oh, well, they must have just, brushed against the writing there.
No, not the ink blot next to it. This passage. What do you make of this?
The Harpers. Well, they're a secret organization here in Faerun. See right here, and he shows you like there's a embossed like symbol of like a harp and a moon.
Okay, something you should know about me, Martin. I don't know how to read.
He says, oh, and he like scratches his head and like
I just
delicately takes the piece of paper back from you. He's like, my apologies, Sprig. Well, I'm excited about this. And he like gathers close to all of you and he says, Toby, go get us all drinks. And Toby like rolls his eyes and he's like, yes, sir. And he like turns around and walks off towards the cellar. And he says, it's right here. It seems you all have made a name for yourself.
In 6 hours?
Well, it seems, as we know, the Harpers, they watch everything. They saw what you were up to last night, and it seems as if they have more information for me. Isn't this great?
Great could be from a certain perspective, Martin. Being watched is kind of suspect, I suppose.
Well, it's just the information I needed. I was missing just one clue, but it says here, all the answers that I'll need for my research, and more dragon stones. Perhaps I could hire you out again.
Okay, Martin,
You
Two
want us to
questions.
find more dragon hearts?
Well, no, but here, look at this passage, and you see him point at a piece. It says Gaspar Cormeril. And it says it's in the estate. His book. It has all of this written down.
Okay, maybe you should give that parchment to Vashard or the doctor and let them read it in its full entirety.
Oh,
Also, important question. Are you a wizard?
I've dabbled in the arts, but I don't know much. No.
What's this? And I hold out the bowl.
It is a dirty, dingy bowl that you must have stolen from that crypt.
Close. And then I stuff it back into the bag.
Sir Venin. Or is it Sir Venin? Or is it just Venin?
It would just be Venin.
Oh, I sorry, I asked that in character.
Oh.
Because you look like a knight, so Vashard assumes that you're a knight.
Well, technically I am a baronet, but there is no need for formal titles between us. Just Venin is fine.
Fine then. Venin. Would you happen to know how to, as Sprigg stated earlier, identify magical items?
I do. But the material components for it are quite costly. I have an owl feather, but I would need a pearl worth at least 100 gold pieces. I'm afraid the military life does not pay well enough for me to have a stash of pearls on hand.
I imagine not, but that is something that can be rectified. Would you like to accompany me to the markets today after we've dealt with, or before we leave for Sprigg's appointment, and I look at Martin, the inevitable raiding of my family's estate that is to follow?
He says, so you'll do it?
Look, I don't know what my family did exactly, and I would like to find out. I would like also to find out how come we were reinstated, but not necessarily all of us. So yes, I don't speak for the whole group, but I will do it.
So, Mr. Martin, the first time we went into the crypt, we were offered a reward for our services. Would we get some kind of deal for this too?
Oh, yes. I could make that happen. Of course. You can see him patting his pockets. Yes, I could make that happen.
We want hazard pay.
I doubt it would be hazardous.
Didn't think it would be hazardous last time.
Well, that's true, but like you said, you dealt with those cultists.
Reginald almost died. And I point to the mouse, which then feigns sickness, like as though it's been exactly hit, mousy hand on its forehead and just falls over.
Perfect.
Mr. Martin, we seem to be in need of a pearl of some value. We might be willing to get this book for you in exchange for that.
Yes. I have a friend here in town. I can call him up and we can make that happen. I'm sure the Ring of Coins has it.
If that's agreeable with everyone, I suppose. I can't speak for him.
I want to know what it does.
Awfully useful.
I agree.
What if... Oh, you do?
Well, why not? We need to get your bowl identified. I would also like to know if, my sword has any other uses. And, Well, Venin, if you don't mind looting an abandoned manor house, you can come with us.
Yes, I think that's a fine idea, Venin. The hazard pay you were speaking of, Sprig, I would be more than willing to allow my very well suited friend to come with you. I mean, Venin, if you'd like.
Yeah, I suppose I have nothing better to do. And, I mean, looting the Cormoral mansion, I haven't done that since I was a kid.
Wait, you did?
Just once or twice, me and the Winter Sun kid.
Well, let's hope you've left the book behind.
We weren't all that interested in books. Well, at least the Winter Suns weren't. I loved the books.
And, Martin, which book were we looking for?
It was written by a man by the name of Gaspar Cormoril. It's quite famous in the Cormoril family.
Was it just like his journal?
Well, yes, but and he like pats the book under his arm. He says, "I suspect it would be more like mine."
Does the book have a name?
He brings back the parchment and he like looks and you can see him. The Book of Gaspar.
We'll do our best.
Thank you. And I'll make my way downtown and fetch that pearl for you. Perhaps we could meet up again this evening, as we did last night.
Yeah, we will need to return as well to pick up our new squire.
Your squire?
I believe Toby is going to be squiring for Vishard after this evening.
The camera like pans over to Toby and he's like standing with like a foot raised and looking proud and dreaming about slaying dragons, just like all of his heroes.
Oof, you're gonna start by killing rats in a basement, kid. That's where we all started.
We were just there last night.
And we did not slay the rats.
Thanks to your animal handling check and my willingness to haggle with rodents.
Yup.
Awesome. So do we want to kind of fade to break there and then pick up with maybe the noon meeting when we get back?
Sure.
Cool.
Oh yeah, that sounds super good.
All right, we'll be back in a few minutes, everyone. And we're back, everyone. So, noon meeting.
Yeah. So yeah, I was going to ask, are you all going together, or were you going to split up and have Henry and Sprig go to the meeting while Vashard and Venom go to the market?
Well, I mean, if we don't need the pearl anymore because we're gonna get it later, I could wait to pawn off the sword and.
I only ask because the Myrmidon is here.
Mm-hmm.
The statue of Azun is up here. And the markets are over here.
No, I think we should. I'll go to the statue then. Leave the markets for later.
Awesome.
Because we can hit the statue and then we can just go right on over to the estate.
Okay.
And I have some stuff that I can actually sell.
Human teeth.
No. Those are precious treasures. Don't you touch them.
Yeah, so I think we come back in, we fade back in to hearing the sounds of the city. We're still close enough that you can hear like gulls calling in the wind. You can hear the sound of wooden wagon wheels on the cobblestone, and of people and their conversations as they pass by you. We fade back in as we see the five of you round a corner, and there's a large 20-foot statue of King Azun II. He happens to be the one who killed the Black Doom. Seated at the... Are you all going to walk up together, or...
Sprig is going to caution them to, stay back a bit. Just in case.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's better not to tip our hand, as it were, in case if Toman has something planned, you should probably just let me be bait. And then you guys can react.
Alright, well, is there a place nearby that I could hide or skulk and not look too suspect?
So this is starting to get into the fancier part of town. Like right here is actually like a villa, like a walled villa of some noble estate. I'm sure maybe somewhere over here, north of the statue, maybe there may be like a dark alley
between two houses. Yeah.
Right.
Sure. I'll go and be all broody over there.
What's everybody else doing?
I'll try to mingle. If there's people nearby, or a shop, or somebody spouting the word of Helm Tier Tor, or
it's Helm.
Yeah, I'll go listen, or just try to blend in, just act like a tourist, as it were.
Awesome. What about for Venom?
I sidle up next to some people in the square, and I start saying, "Did you know that in 1018, that's 1018 Dale Reckoning, the dragon Thoglor attacked the city here in Suzail, demolished nearly a quarter of Castle Oberskar. He retreated to King's Forest, where he was engaged by the High Wizard Dendera Hast and his pupil Jorn Hast, who then led a tactical retreat and led him to where the army of Azun II lay waiting. This monument commemorates their victory over the Purple Dragon."
Just, you're that guy at the party that just knows some weird trivia and won't shut up about it?
Yeah.
Please take inspiration for that. Cool. So I think we kind of zoom away on that, and we hear Venon's voice fading as he continues on, and we see over Sprig's shoulder, and we see sitting on like a park bench under the backside of the statue is a small gnome. He has his legs crossed and his arms on the back of the bench, and he's smoking a pipe. When he sees Sprig get up, when he sees Sprig approaching, he stands, and Sprig, you can tell like there's excitement on his face, like he wants to run over to you, but he stops and he waits for you.
Sprig approaches and throws the crumpled up stabbed letter at his feet and goes, "You know I can't read, Toman. You never taught me how."
Oh, yeah, you're right. I'm sorry about that. I thought perhaps in the time that we've spent apart that maybe you had learned. How are you, Sprig?
When would I have learned, Toman? When I was narrowly avoiding prison? Or perhaps when I was negotiating, pleading, begging with the noble, just not throw me in the jail cells. You know how they are here.
Yes, that's why I left.
You were supposed to take me with you.
I'm honestly sorry for that, Sprig. You can see he's dressed nicely in finery. He wears a chain shirt over like a fine shirt and fine pants. He's got a rapier to his side, and he wears like a red cape. And you can see there's this strangely bent stick that he keeps like in like tucked in his front belt. I just wanted to say that things have been better for me since I left Tazir. But I missed you, Sprig, and I feel bad for leaving you.
Well, I'm glad things have been treating you kindly.
I can understand you're hurt. I wanted to see maybe, if we could make amends. I wanted to say I'm sorry.
Make amends? I sleep in a barrel most nights. Every cent that I make goes to the noble to pay off the debt for the damages we caused. We caused, Omen. I'm the one still paying for your mistake while you're off gallivanting along, making money and collecting fancy sticks.
Oh.
And you're sorry? I wanted to leave Suzail too, I never liked it here. I had plans. I had people I wanted to find. We were supposed to go together, Toman. I'm sorry doesn't cut it.
Well, maybe we can talk about it.
You know what, Toman? You want to talk to me? It's going to cost you. And then I just turn around and I walk away.
How's 20 gold pieces?
Stop.
I mean what I said, Sprig. I'm sorry, and I thought maybe we could. You can tell there's like desperation in his voice and his face. I thought we could start over, maybe.
Can I insight check him to see if he actually wants to start over or if he just needs me to do something for him?
Okay.
For the question, do I have advantage because I know him? Like I grew up with him.
Yes.
Okay.
It has been a while, though. He might have changed.
He might have changed. 14 for my insight check.
You can't tell. Like, you can hear desperation in his voice, and you can tell that, like, he's meaning what he's saying. But you can't really tell.
Okay. I turn on my heel and I march back, and I hold out my hand.
Oh, you meant now. He pulls out 2 platinum pieces and he puts it in your hand.
Where in the hells did you get platinum?
I was in Arabelle for a while, and I met a wizard there and worked with him for a while.
You're not the only one who met a wizard. All right. What do you want, Tillman? You said you want to talk a bit. I know you. You've got something cooking. I've never known you to go 2 minutes without a scheme.
Oh, all right. You found me out, Sprig. I was thinking maybe I could help you. Oh, geez. And he like kicks like a stone on the ground, and he looks back up at you and he says, well, I made it in with and he like pats like a lapel pin that he has. You can see like a harp on it. And he says, see, we need something. And I was wondering if maybe you could help me.
You and your group of bards need something from me?
Well, I know how this is going to sound, Sprig, but have you heard of the family Cormorel?
I mean, everybody knows about the abandoned house.
Well, yes. Well, see, the Harpers are looking for information on demon worshippers, and I hate to sully the good name of such people, but our information and intelligence gathering has pointed that the Cormorels were probably demon worshippers, and I was wondering if you might want to accompany me to their estate later, and I need to find some information there.
I'm already going to the estate, Toman, for another job.
His face blanks, and he's like, what do you mean?
Doing some work for some guy named Martin. Apparently some people called the Harpers want to work with him. I don't know. Tell me what books or information you want, and I'll just look for it while I'm there.
I was really hoping I could go with you, Sprig, and make...
This is a first step, Toman. This is a first step. You think I'm going to trust you in a house full of dangerous zombies and ghosts and Lord knows what else? There could still be traps.
You can see, like, he's clutching his fists, like something's bothering him. Like, he's, like, wringing at his belt and at his chain shirt. And he's like, I really need to go with you, Sprig. I really...
Like, I really need to not owe 1,000 gold to that son of a bitch that we stole from.
Well, how about... And he, like, pulls out the stick under his belt. And he's like, this is worth a pretty penny.
A stick?
Well, same old Sprig. And he puts it back in his belt, and he says, I could give it to you if you'd let me come, please. And his face turns to worry.
Why do you need it in the building so bad?
It's just Sprig. It's desperate. and like he turns and like looks over his shoulder, and then looks over the other shoulder, and he's like, "It's real desperate."
All right, meet me at the estate in 30 minutes.
Oh, that soon, huh? I was thinking, maybe so we don't get caught, cause like getting caught's real bad. You probably know that. I'm sorry, Sprig. I was thinking maybe like tonight, so like they don't see us walk in.
Fine. Meet me at the front gates tonight.
Thank you, Sprig. You're thank you.
Mm-hmm. Leave now.
Oh, you think you want to get coffee or something?
Leave now.
Okay. And he like puts his head down and he kind of like scurries off. You notice he looks over his shoulder a few times, but before he disappears into like the noble section of town.
Sprig's just gonna sit down on the statue.
Has Venom got to like King Azun the Fourth yet?
Yeah. Well, you see, the peace was broken when, near the end of his reign, the kingdom was invaded by an army of goblins and orcs, led by the red dragon known as the Devil Dragon.
I just imagine like somebody just walking away, like just faced a gog. And just
There's like this 4-year-old urchin that's just like looking at you in amazement.
And then he notices Sprig walking away, and he goes, "Ah, Sprig.
Yeah, okay.
I noticed you did not stab him in the back. Did you forget your dagger?"
No. It's hard to stab people when you know them really well.
Benin just nods knowingly.
Do you know where Vash went? I need him and Henry here so we can talk about tonight. Something weird's going on with Toman.
Henry approaches.
I believe that Vash is skulking.
That doesn't sound like Vash. Vash!
I come out of the shadows, the light of my pipe barely lighting my face. As I remove my hood, I go, "Yeah, what?"
Aragorn?
Go by Strider in these parts. Were you skulking?
I need 4 pillows the size of gnomes. Don't ask any questions. Well, I mean, I was in the shadows. What else would I do?
Is that what skulking means?
What did you think skulking meant, Sprig?
Skulking is what you do when you get one bottle of ale and then another bottle of ale, and then you drink them both at the same time in rapid succession.
No.
Sprig, someone may have
It
lied
is
to you in
not.
the past.
Well, look, I was really surprised when we were guaranteed hazard pay. You for hazard pay, really, because getting paid to not do extra work is weird. Because that's what hazard means, right? It means there's no extra work.
Hazard means danger.
Oh.
So to protect you from danger, we have Venom.
I thought Venom was protecting us from doing extra work.
That would fall under Toby's new responsibilities.
Oh. So Toby is a hazard squatter.
I'm glad you took the reins on this one, Bouchard. Keep going, you're doing good.
I'm taking psychic damage. What is going on? Not. Forget
okay.
the word hazard. It
It's
doesn't
fine.
have its place here.
I'm messing with you, Bashard. I get it now. Hazard
Alright.
means danger.
Okay.
Okay.
Just.
But
Alright.
speaking of danger,
Yeah.
something is wrong with Toman. He's desperate. He wants to come with us. He and his group of bards are looking for something about your family working and summoning demons. He's
I
looking
must
for.
say, you did tell him no that he cannot come with, right?
I told him to meet us at the front gate that night. I figured if you didn't want him to come with us, then it would be easier to beat him up if I wasn't alone.
How about we go there now. We empty out the place. We make sure we get what we need, and then we meet with Thorman at night.
He did bring up a fair point, which is how do we plan to get in without being seen by the guard in the middle of the day?
I'm a Cormorel.
But it's not your house anymore.
No, but I can probably, if we get caught by guards, I can probably talk our way out.
Perhaps he's scoping the place out to maybe buy back his ancestral home.
How about that? Thank you, Doctor.
It was the only excuse I could come up with.
Okay, yeah, that could work. Man, if only I still knew a forger, I could get some official documents. But he's already in the clique. Okay, well,
I'm sorry, he's in the what?
The clink?
Is that what you call a jail?
No. It's what I call a sandwich on a Tuesday. Yeah, it's a jail.
Wow, Thieves' Cant is so confusing.
All right, Sprig. Well, I say there's no time like the present to go to the Cormorel mansion.
What are your thoughts, Venom?
Yeah, I suppose we could come up with a legitimate excuse.
Secondary note, he seemed pretty well equipped, and he had a stick that he seemed to think was of great value. Does anybody know why a stick would be very valuable?
Was it a stick or a wand?
It was a curvy stick that he kept on his belt, and he offered it to me as payment.
Do you have it with you? Well, Sprig, we may never know what that stick might do.
I mean, honestly, it could go either way. He may have just offered him a stick.
That is very true. But then he would have stabbed Sprig twice thus far.
True. Did he also offer you magic beans?
No, but I do know a kid that found some once. I never heard from him again.
Got eaten by cloud giants. Isn't that how the story ends?
Yep.
FIFA, faux.
That's how this story ends. We have to go find Sprig's buddy up in the clouds.
Again, there is a magical item in the DMG that is a bag of beans that do have a good bean stock. So, okay, let's go now. And then we can meet Tolman at night and find out, maybe you guys can get more information out of him. I don't know if I like this group of bards he's running with if he's so scared and desperate.
And also, what play are they gonna, put up if they want to do research about demon worshipping? Something just doesn't add up.
Well, bards sell information. Dash, that's what they do. They listen in the taverns, and then they sell the information to thieves. That's how we always found out when there were good adventurers in town, is because the bards would we'd pay off a bard at the Myrmidon or one of the other taverns, and they would let us know whoever came in from a big score.
But why would a bard want to pilfer, secrets about demon worshipping?
I don't know. Maybe someone's paying him to.
Sprig, have you ever considered gaining more legal employment instead of just stealing from everybody?
What, like making shoes?
That could possibly be one.
Adventuring. It is literally a profession here.
Well, we did make more money than I had in months adventuring. Maybe I should consider being an adventurer.
Well, we did get our adventures papers after that first mission from Martin.
Okay, all right.
That is true.
Let's get going. We can talk while we walk.
So it's not too far to the estate. The statue of Azun is here, and the estate is here. So you can make your way there in not very much time at all. I mean, it's only 26 feet, but no. So yeah, it maybe takes you 30 minutes, if that, to walk there. You notice as you get closer to the castle district and the high district here, that the patrols look especially strong for this time of day, especially closer to the Cormoril estate. You do notice as you get there that there's a coach wagon parked out front of the house.
Is the coach marked with any heraldry on it?
No, it's rather bland looking. There's a man nondescript in a trench coat that sits holding the reins. He looks especially bored.
A body wagon.
Well, let's ask one of the guards.
Or we
Excuse
could just
me.
ask the man.
He might not know why he's there, but the guards might know why they're patrolling the area a bit more than what they usually do.
Could it be because we killed 6 people last night?
I do not know you. I don't know where you came from. And I don't know what you did last night.
But you were with me last night.
I honestly don't recall that at all, Mr. Gnome.
Just gnome.
My good sir. And I'll hail a guard.
She looks bored. She has a spear laid up against her shoulder. Her metal visored helmet is cocked to the side, and she says, "Yeah, what is it?"
I just wanted to know what's happening with the Cormoril estate.
Somebody ransacked the place last night. Nobody's going in or going out now, though.
But I am a Cormoril.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance, my lord. But you should know as good as any is this place is off limits to you.
But if someone tried to ransack my property, I would like to know what, if anything, is missing.
I don't think so. It looks like some people were murdered in the gardens last night.
Oh my. Were they expertly shot with an arrow?
She looks you up and down and says, I
jest. Well, thank you for your help.
No problem. Good luck.
Ma'am, let's say there was a material amount of value we could perhaps drop into your hand that would allow for people to gain access to the Cormoril house. What number might that be?
And I know what you're doing, and I appreciate it. If you could pass me 5 gold pieces, I could give you more info about the house.
I hand her 5 gold pieces.
She pockets it and smiles, and she says, "There's no way you're getting in there. It's warded. You'd have to have a passage stone or something to get in."
Oh, what? A passage stone?
Yeah. Make a history check.
10. I'll also look to the group and just shrug.
You know that the war wizards here in Cormyr happen to ward places of importance or dangerous places, and certain people of prestige may have things like passage stones or commander's rings, cloaks, etc., that would allow them to bypass these wards.
Now, ma'am, I do appreciate you telling me that information, but we're trying to recover a long-lost family heirloom for Mr. Cormorel here, and how about would we get past that ward?
Well, I mean, you'd have to have a passage stone or have a war wizard with you.
Would any passage stone work?
I don't know how it works. Perhaps you could, speak to somebody else about it. I've got a job to do here.
Thank you for the information, ma'am.
Madam.
She nods and kind of like walks off 5 feet and then like takes her guarding position again.
Venin, were you what they would call a war wizard?
I am not. I was. I served in the Purple Dragons, and if you had asked me a month ago, I would have had a purple dragon ring that could have got us right past there. But sadly, I'm on leave due to a leg injury I sustained during the war. I suppose we could talk to someone. Perhaps they would grant us passage.
Do you know of such an individual?
Oh, I mean, you can't spit without hitting a war wizard and a wizard's ale. They're all around. They monitor people's thoughts to make sure they're not going to commit any crimes.
That's not true. Is it?
That's what they want you to believe.
I mean this in the nicest way. Your thoughts might be a little too low scale to register on their radar.
It's because I'm short, isn't it?
100% because you're short.
That makes sense.
Well, maybe our local representative of government.
Wait, your friend. You said he was an actor that he wanted to go in at night?
No, he belongs to some group of bards or something. He had a pin. It was like in the shape of a harp or whatever. So,
like a harp in a crescent moon?
Yeah.
Like what was on Martin's letter?
Yeah.
So, probably someone who can get us in.
Yeah, probably. Why do you ask?
All right, so we kill these guards and run in, right?
Yeah, let's just murder hobo our way through. No. I think we're gonna have to wait at night. In the meantime, perhaps Martin has found a way to get the pearls so we can do something productive today.
Well, I mean, we still have time. We could just go to the market real fast.
Why not? I look to Venin. Do you want to come along?
Sure.
So yeah, you make your way south around to the market district. There's wares from all over the world here. Suzale is actually one of the largest ports in the region and connects to the Sea of Falling Stars. So there's people and things and smells and sounds from all over. I guess you're looking for like a weapons shop or
Yeah, I'm looking for
a pawn shop. Are you going to pawn your sword?
No, I'm actually going to try to find a weaponsmith, someone who would appreciate the fine quality of such a weapon.
Okay.
Bouchard, have you ever wondered what it would be like just to take a boat out onto the open sea?
I've always dreamed to be a seafaring baker who also happens to be a vampire.
That sounds like a wonderful idea. Poetic, even.
Yeah.
I've always wanted to be a pirate.
So,
Spray
there
gun
it goes.
wouldn't say
Yeah.
it so loud.
Matt's not aware of, before the campaign started, we jested around that we should all be vampire bakers on a ship. Pirates.
I saw the chat and did not understand.
It was our way to derail Steven's campaign.
Mm-hmm.
Gotcha.
I'm just waiting for it any time now. Can you make a
Do we see any unguarded ships? Like,
Nope. Nope. Security is real good in Suzale. There's even wizards that read your mind to see if you want to steal a ship or not.
Sprague's just running around. I want to be a pirate.
Can you make an investigation charisma check for me?
Yep, so that would be straight charisma in my case.
Yeah.
Oof, 7.
Oh,
You found the best armor. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, you search around for maybe 2 or 3 hours trying to I don't know, shop around for the best one. The one that eventually catches your eye for the third time is a medium classy joint. You notice there's a wooden sign that hangs outside the door, and there seems to be emblazoned upon it a wyvern, and it's in its claws it holds like a spur, like a knight would wear on its boot.
Okay. I shall go in. If it's the best establishment I can find around here,
Yeah.
hopefully they will buy the sword off of me at a reasonable price. Well, actually, 2 swords, the regular one and Pappy's sword.
So yeah, going in, it is a nice place. There seems to be a couple people in front of you just finishing their business. They thank the proprietor and leave as you come in. And there's a woman standing there. She has a long black hair braided and down to her side, and she wears a leather jerkin, and has a bandolier of daggers. And she welcomes you to the to House Wyvern Spur's weaponorium.
Weaponorium?
Yeah, it's like a weapon emporium.
A weaponorium. Yeah, sure. I like the sound of that. I'm
All the time.
looking to sell today.
Well, we don't buy much off of adventurers. They usually come in with, no offense, but it's usually garbage. But I'll look and see what you have.
Well, Then let's start with the pièce de résistance right away, and I draw out Pappy's sword.
Awesome.
What do you make of that? And how much would you give me for it?
She looks at it and she says, well balanced. And it seems old. Very old. Where did you find this?
It has been in my family for generations. It is, I believe, the sword that fell Thalglor, the Black Doom.
She kind of like laughs under her breath, and she's like, perhaps I'm the queen of Malorand.
I'll just remove my glove and put my hand on the counter where she can see my signet ring.
Oh, okay. Oh, a Cormoril. Well, this is a very nice sword. I'd be willing to give you 30.
I was looking for a bit more than 30.
I might be able to part with 35 gold pieces for it.
That's a bit more.
Make it 40 and actually make it 50, and I'll even trade you in this other regular longsword.
Will you make a persuasion roll for me?
Yeah. Please don't fail. Please don't fail. Oh God!
Wow, a 5. She's impressed.
Yeah, so he accidentally stabs her with the sword as he pulls it out. He's like, "Ah."
Oh, sorry. Got blood all over the place.
She says, I think 35 is the best that I could do.
All right. 35 for the sword.
Hang on a second. And I dump the 3 scimitars onto the counter. And then I put down the red gem.
She says, and she looks and she notices like the blood stains on the scimitars, and she's like, that's the garbage I was talking about.
But I mean, they're perfectly fine.
I'm sure they would cut you and you'd probably die of the infection, but I'm not interested in buying those. I apologize. And perhaps a jeweler could take a look at that stone. I don't really deal in jewels.
Well, if you won't buy these from us, then who will?
Maybe a jeweler. I'd try...
Not the gem. But I would... The swords, but also the gem.
There is a pawn shop down the way. It's called Ring of Coins. They'll buy basically anything.
And the jeweler?
You can look for one over on Dragon's Moot Street.
I just scoop the scimitars into my backpack.
She tries to brush out a scratch that you scratched the counter with.
And then I grab the red gem. Sorry, Vash. I tried.
It's okay. Thank you, Sprague. You did what you could.
So now where to?
Well, are you taking the 35 for the sword?
Yeah, I'm taking 35 for the sword.
I feel like it's pretty nighttime now, so we'll just go back to the mansion.
It's probably 5-ish.
I mean,
sunset-ish.
Yeah, we can. If you want, we can gloss over the selling of the gems.
Yeah, that's fine.
And the swords. The swards.
Yeah. There's a small halfling named Fimble that works at Ring of Coins. And he offers to pay 20 gold pieces for all 3 swords.
For the scimitars?
Yeah.
Mighty nice of him.
What about for the blue gem?
The blue gem. It's probably worth 10 gold pieces.
Same with the red gem.
So
15 for the red.
and I'll sell one additional the additional longsword.
They'll give you 7 for it.
Yeah, sure.
He says, "Boy, it's great to meet all of you. One day I want to be an adventurer too."
Sorry, party's full.
You don't need another squire?
Well, technically, I can have up to 3 retainers, but Stephen won't let me.
He carries off all the stuff to the back and he yells and he's like, "Sarek, we've got more things to categorize."
Just out of curiosity, Quentin, what's your passive perception?
Oh gosh. 16.
Okay. Sprig has their hand in your coin purse.
I just swat it. Just.
Sorry. And you have an additional 5 gold pieces.
So yeah, if you wanted, we could say that you waste some more time in the market district and night falls and you decide to make your way back. Yeah, so you get back to House Cormoril, sneaking along, staying out of the lights and timing the patrols correctly. You notice when you get there, the front gate is open and you don't see anyone else in sight.
And no guards, no coach, no nothing.
Oh no coach.
All right.
Sprig, do you see your friend anywhere?
No, I don't. I look around. Do I see Toman?
Make a reception check.
He usually likes to hide in bushes and 6. I don't see any bushes.
Eventually, Tomar walks out of the bushes near the fountain inside the estate. And he looks at you all and he says, "Oh, I was wondering if you were coming, Sprig. I was getting worried."
I told you I was coming, Toman. Now, we can't even get in unless we have a passage stone. So tell me you have one, so that way I don't look like an idiot.
He scratches his head and he's like, "Oh yeah, I got one of those last night."
Do I want to know how?
My good looks.
Sure. Okay. Well, these are my friends. Bashard, Benin, the doctor.
Hi, I'm Tomar. And Tomar, I'm a friend of Sprig's.
Yeah, let's not push it.
He's a human?
He's a gnome. He's got like white hair and a little like gnomish goatee. And he wears fancy clothes with a chain shirt over it and a red cape. And he's got a dagger in a pocket, a rapier to his side, and this curled stick stuck down under his belt.
Yeah, I'm going to be honest. If you betray us, there will be retribution. I take a liking to Sprig here, and I don't think you're a good person.
No,
Unless you have 1,000 gold in your pocket.
I just need to go and get some things from inside. That's all.
You never told me what things that you need.
Oh, well, we were looking to find. I think it's in the basement, and it was like a ritual stone. Yeah, that House Cormoril used to summon that demon.
That doesn't sound like a thing that the House Cormoril would do. I think House Cormoril are noble individuals that would totally slay dragons and demons and not summon them.
We have a dark past.
Well, that's good to know. Okay, well.
Don't worry, I'm not gonna summon anything in front of you.
Oh, yeah, I guess I should mention Vashard is Vashard Cormoril.
Yeah.
Oh, and he like does this fancy bow.
So that means keep your hands off all his stuff.
I
don't want to see. I don't want to see you putting any of his things in your pockets.
Sprig.
It.
All right.
I don't go by Cormoril these days anyway. I'd rather we keep this quiet as much as possible, despite the fact that I outwardly displayed my signet ring today. Yeah. Big mistake.
Well, lead the way.
He digs into one of his shirt pockets and he produces this gold ring that's got a little purple emblem on it, and he says, this should get us in. Can everybody see the map?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Cool.
Real fast before we continue, could I have bought 20 arrows from the pawn shop for a gold piece or whatever?
Oh yeah, 1 gold piece.
Yeah, thanks.
So yeah, he leads you all to the front stair. Now, if all the things I hear are true about this house, it'd be interesting to see what's in here. He walks up. You can see the symbol like that was invisible, like light up on the door, and he goes and he presses on the door, and he comes back and he comes close to Sprig and he says, Sprig, I'm real sorry about before. And he takes the stick and he gives it to you, and he says, I hope this makes up for everything.
Well, and I take it. Let's just don't abandon me in another noble's house, and maybe we'll see.
Much like this noble house.
That was what I was going for. Yeah.
I'm not going to leave you, Sprig.
All right. And then is the door unlocked?
Yeah.
I open the door. I walk in.
Cool. So yeah, you walk into a dark foyer. There's an old moth-eaten rug on the wooden floor in front of you. The house like moans and echoes as you all walk in. We're up here, by the way.
It's a giant mimic.
Yeah, we can't see anything.
Nobody?
I can see.
I can see.
Oh.
It might take a second to load, or...
No, it's, I can see, but the Reginald can't see anything.
I thought Reginald could see everything. Yeah, Reginald should be able to see.
Is he still assigned to other assignment?
Yeah.
That is. Oh, can you move him in back of us, just to see?
He is behind us. Is it possible that the other Simon's camera is in the wrong position?
No. I'm zoomed out completely of the map,
Come over here.
and there's nothing.
Do you see the ping?
I can see the ping.
But nothing else?
But
Can
nothing
Vishard
else.
see?
Yeah, Vishard can see just fine.
Okay, so basically you're saying, aha, they can't see.
Yeah, the audience can't see anything.
Well, let's get this figured out right quick. We're saying that
D&D Beyond is an excellent app service that you should consider for running your Dungeons & Dragons games. Now they contain Critical Role content. Quentin, why don't you tell us about your experiences making Critical Role content characters on D&D Beyond?
Oh, we're good.
Well, I'm most definitely glad that I don't have to talk about that because I have made 0 characters on D&D Beyond.
We're going to lose our sponsorship, Quentin.
yeah, you stand in this foyer. The wooden beams creak above you and below you as you walk in. You can see dusty bookshelves and old moth-eaten jackets to the east, and you can see a doorway that leads north into like a great room of sorts. I think you can even see on the floor of the great room something scrawled in blue.
I would have a torch lit because I don't have dark vision, so.
Cool, yeah.
Sprig walks in because they see the scrawling of blue.
Yeah, you see in this great room, there's a large hearth and fireplace to the west. There is a doorway leading to the east and a staircase to the north. Staircase, door, hearth. There's another door just to the other side of the hearth. There's a ancient chandelier that hangs from the ceiling. The candle's broken, and the candle's broken and melted. You hear off in a room over here what sounds like something eating. Here and here stand ancient armors. They have very intricate designs on them of dragons and the horns, the symbol of House Cormoril.
We wouldn't happen to see the book that we need, do we?
Not in this room.
Quite convenient.
I tried, guys. I tried.
Yes, it's laying right here. That's a sign that says "Grab me."
So we knock out the other gnome and leave.
Okay. There's something eating. Maybe it's another rat? Hang on. Let me check.
Venon reaches into his spell component pouch and produces a small piece of phosphorescent moss. He chews it for a minute and then spreads it across the blade of his sword, which ignites with the light spell.
Awesome. What's the range on that?
I have no idea. 60 feet, I think.
Yeah, I think it is too. There.
Yeah,
Everybody should be able to see that now.
Oh, fancy.
So Tormorn says, I think it was in the basement, and he points to the stairs there, and he says, but like we could go after like you find your book. That's okay with me.
Good, because that's what we're gonna do. And I open up the store to see what's eating.
So you need us to go into the basement with you.
Well, I mean, it could be dangerous in here. And about that time, from that dining room where Sprig heard something eating, you see black smoke like gather around, and these things like appear And they look at Sprig and they say, and we need to roll for initiative.
Oh, Jesus.
They
Sprig,
sound
no.
like really good people.
Should probably negotiate, do some charisma rolls.
Are they speaking in Gnomish out of
No, they're not.
9?
15.
Give me just a moment.
Oh, hey, my hit points are the same as my AC.
12.
15.
How come I disappeared from the initiative order?
You should be up at the top.
No.
Yeah, both you and Matthew.
And Matt disappeared, yeah. So I was sitting at 15.
All right.
I forgot to click on token before I rolled.
That's okay, we can edit it afterwards. Or I should say you can edit it afterwards, because I forgot I'm not a DM tonight.
If you just click on the 5, you can type in 20. I don't know. I'm telling you this.
Yeah.
This game on the tab on Roll20.
Is it? What did you get? The 21?
I got the 21, yeah.
Cool. Yeah. I was looking at something else for a moment.
I much prefer that to the 5.
Cool. So I think that means then that Venin would go first. You hear? Well, let's go back into the room right quick. These things, these blobs of rotted skin appear in this this dining area. They look at you and they're short and flabby and they speak. And what does Sprig do?
Super salad?
So I think it's Super Salad that alerts everybody else that something's going on here. So yeah, Venin hears this. What does Venin do?
That's your safe word?
that's my emergency word. Yeah, super salad.
And just from curiosity, he went over this way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Did we lose Matt?
Oh, sorry, I had myself muted. So that's as far as I can move.
All right.
I don't have any range attacks. Oh, I can throw a hand axe.
Cool.
So as I move, I'll draw a hand axe, which I throw. I rolled a 21 to hit.
Oh yeah, that definitely hits.
Whoops. Oh, shoot, it's not showing damage.
Yeah, there we go. 10. Were you aiming at this one?
10 damage. Yep.
Yeah, your hand axe flies through the air end over end and sticks into this thing. It deflates when you hit it, like straight in its head, and it goes and like as it deflates and like turns back into like black wisps and floats out like a broken window. And that makes it the doctor's turn.
An evil whoopee cushion.
Yeah.
So confused. Okay, well, from the doorway here, I'll throw some fire at that guy. I'll produce flame at him.
Roll higher than a 1. I believe in you. You can do more than 1 damage.
Sometimes.
Yeah, 4.
Awesome. And I'm sorry, you were going for this one?
Yeah, the one right next to Sprig.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, fire like leaps out of your hand and hits this thing. It like screams in this dark tongue as like its skin is like melted off, and it looks its eyes emblazoned in red at you.
I move back 5 feet to make room in the doorway for the other party.
Right. That makes it Vashard's turn.
All right. So 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. Whoops, wrong one. 25, 30. I think I'm going to... by the way, I checked for the sword. If it's a Moon Touch sword, Steven, I have... It sheds light to... Bright light to 15 feet, sorry, and dim light for an additional 15 feet.
Okay.
So if you want to change the light radius on my character, because it's until I stop fighting with that weapon, it's pretty much going to be that one weapon.
All right. So you said it's 15.
15 plus 15, yeah. So like
Cool.
30 total. And I'm going to use the dash action to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then no, I'm gonna stay here, and I'm gonna call out to them to come at me.
They all look and hiss at you again, and that makes it their turn. So yeah, this one waddles over to you. It like jiggles like an undead jello as it rushes over. It reaches out terrible, wretched claws at you and it attacks.
Things are ugly.
Mm-hmm.
Here, yeah.
Yeah,
Everybody
the
wants
21
to-
that hits.
Yeah, for 3 damage.
Ow.
The next one waddles up as well and attacks Vashard.
That's a miss.
This one is going to lurch out at Sprig. Oh.
Son of a Murloc.
For 6 damage.
Oof.
Hey, look, I'm at level 1 again.
This one jumps up on the table, screaming, "Ah!" And it nearly like jiggles and rolls as it jumps off the table and attacks Finnan.
Oh no!
And crits. For 8 damage.
All right.
And that makes it Sprig's turn.
Sprig just yells like, "Ah!" And he's going to use their bonus action to disengage and run the hell away. I'm helping. 2, 3, 4, 5. And then whirls around and can still see this one and just fires off a shot with their short bow.
Cool.
Does a 12 hit?
A 12 does hit. This one?
Yeah, 9 damage. 12 damage.
Awesome. Yeah. You hit it, and instead of hitting like with an oof, like you'd expect, it like pops as you hit it, and it goes, and it also deflates and turns into a black, smoky licorice. And that's when no, wait. Sorry. Yeah, that's where Tomorn draws a short bow and rushes over.
And shoots me in the back with it.
and fires at that one. Real careful, like. Takes his time. Make sure to aim real well. Accidentally rolls initiative.
I mean, even with the proficiency modifier, it would still hit.
There we go.
Oh no!
and shoots themselves in the foot.
Yeah, fires off an arrow. It lands in the table and loads another arrow and fires it as well. And it hits for 5 damage.
He has multi-attack? All right, this guy's legit.
This one also pops and deflates into a wisp of black smoke. And that makes it Venon's turn.
Right. Venon's going to draw his shield from his back and move forward to engage here. And attack with his longsword.
That certainly hits.
For 9 slashing.
Yeah, you hit it, and as your sword smashes down into it, it's like you're hitting like thick peanut butter that stops, and it screams out in a wretched cry again and deflates into a black smoke. And that makes it Dr. Henry. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
And actually, do you mind if I do green flame blade with that, so that I also do the
Yeah.
would be 3 damage to this other.
Okay. Sounds good. A green flame shines off from your already burning sword, leaping off of it, and it crawls up the side of this one as it screams. And that makes it Doctor's turn. I'm sorry.
I shall move back into the room and see that there's one left, and I'll like snap my fingers for another flame to throw at it. For another 4 damage. All right, not rolling ones, guys. It's a good night.
Yeah, fire leaps from your hand again, brightening up the room as it travels. It hits it in the face and it knocks it back. Its body ripples in undead horror, and it still stands. It's Vishard's turn, though.
Well, Vishard's gonna try to finish this with a 2-handed strike from his longsword. Does a 14 hit?
Yes.
Cool. So that's 10 points of damage.
Oh yeah,
Nice.
you hit it and it explodes and a black vapor travels out the window.
Is that all of them?
It appears so, Sprig.
I hope that wasn't more of your family, Vash.
Not.
I don't think that was anybody's family.
Oh.
Do we see any books?
There is a bookcase over here, but it seems like most of the books are wet and dry rotted.
Do I see one with like a yellow exclamation point or maybe a gold question mark?
No. You do see a door on the north side here.
Well,
All right.
You want to go open it, Doctor, or do you want me to go?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and open it. I see if it opens.
Yeah.
There. The audience saw everything. They saw the other room.
Yeah, it definitely opens to the side. You can tell there's some sort of old kitchen in here. There's rotted food and mold grows up the side of the wall. You can tell there's another door on the far side.
It appears this is a kitchen of some sorts. There's another door on the far side. Guess I'll keep moving.
All right, but before you do that, I think we're gonna have to call it for tonight, folks.
Yeah.
Because I can't
That's
go
probably
over
be it.
tonight like last time, unfortunately.
Yeah, I was thinking that as well.
It kind of cuts on somewhat of a cliffhanger, but we'll is that an organ?
Where? Right here?
Yeah, is that an organ right here?
No, it's like map scrolls is what it looks like. It's like
Oh,
a
okay.
desk and like a bunch of
With scrolls. Oh,
scrolls.
okay, papers and stuff. All right,
Yeah.
yeah. Anyway, thanks everyone for watching tonight's episode of Keep on the Shadowfell. I am Simon at Wandering DM. Let's just go around and do our outros. Where can we find you on the internet if you have anything going on in your lives and you want to let everyone know? Just go right ahead, and then we will raid someone on the way out. So let's start with our the newest member of our group, playing Venin.
Hey, as I said in my introduction, I'm Matthew Myers. You can find me on Twitter at xpmatthewlee. And I'm currently working on a supplement for Cormyr called Cormyr Land of the Purple Dragon. So if you enjoyed my tale of Thoglor, you're going to love the rest of Cormyr Land of the Purple Dragon. And it should be out late next month.
Cool.
Shoot for late May. And I'm posting a lot of art previews. I'm doing all the artwork right now, so my Twitter is basically all art previews.
Super cool.
And then we'll go around, skip the DM for a second, and go to our doctor. Oof. I was gonna say druid, but same thing.
Yeah, same thing. Had a great time tonight, Steven. Thanks for DMing. Simon, thanks for inviting me. Everyone else, also fun time playing. On Twitter, I'm at Thragon. I don't post a whole lot, but I just retweet everybody else's stuff. So, Matt, I just followed you, and I'll just retweet all your stuff. So,
Cool.
I'm basically just a human bot.
Aren't we all just human robots, though?
Probably.
On the inside.
Probably. But thanks for watching, everyone. I had a good time.
And I am Manny, aka Bag of Snails. You can find me at Twitter at bag_of_snails. And I'm actually, believe it or not, working on something right now. I'm working on a martial subclass for the fighter that I'm hoping to start playtesting. If that's a thing that interests you, hit me up with a DM.
Cool.
All right, and last but certainly not least, our dungeon master for tonight.
Hi, everybody. Bye, everybody. I'm Steven. You can find me on Twitter at wolfwizard_, where I post about role-playing games and other things that I find neat. You can also check out a RPG I designed. It's on my pinned tweet. It's called The Deep Dark. It's a dungeon delver game about helping your friends and keeping your promises.
It's real good.
And on that note, I will see you tomorrow for some Castle Falkenstein. And Saturday for some Pulp Cthulhu, and then next week here on Tuesday for some Dark Matter, D&D 5th edition in space. Otherwise, you can catch me on Sunday on Soulbear RPG's channel playing Kadern, the Tiefling Warlock in Shattered Eye, or on Monday on Role Players DMing Age of Arcana, the game that I'm playing DMing, I should say, in my homebrew setting. So on that note, ciao everyone. We will leave off with a raid of my good friends our good friends, I should say, at Off the Table. They're playing TTRPGs right now, so go ahead and spread the love to them as well. Ciao everyone.
See everybody.
Bye.